your Pepe office. Your Pepe at the funeral.
Yeah.
Is
he short?
Oh yeah, he's a short king.
Guys,
Kabang.
no danger.
Kabang. Jonah, yo, guys. Sekaya zinyela. Jonah zinyela. Yo,
guys. 2000.
Guys. Sanibonani emakhaya, and welcome back to yet another episode of Ashlebi. We're back with episode 3, and yeah, and of course I don't roll alone. I'm here with my co-pilot.
Hi Nombu.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm Khanyisa. Say hi, Mama Shilu.
Oh, like that tagline, like it hits. It hits. Nothing good tagline that will hit as hard. Okay, but otherwise, how's everything?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm just recovering from a cold.
Yeah.
But I'm good. How was the symphonic?
Symphonic was something else. I don't want to lie. I think my overall view was that it was great. Mm-hmm. Of course, there are just slight critiques, but overall, it was honestly really, really nice, which I'll get into, I think, in greater detail towards the end of the show. But aside from that, hey, a lot is happening, eh? Like conversations on the streets, Polygamist, and... Yeah, Marawi, I don't want us to actually really spend time on, unpacking it now, because I guess later on is where we're actually really going to unpack the show itself. So if you guys have watched The Polygamist, make sure that you also drop your own comments in the comment section down below. Nishtele Nuguti, what your take was from the show, if you finished watching it, and we'll obviously give you give you our 2 cents about the show as well. So I think currently, what is happening on your radar?
Sure, friend. Abdullah Ibrahim passed away last night at the age of 91.
Sure.
Yeah, he's a legendary jazz musician.
Yeah.
So yeah, he passed away at the age of 91, and I mean, condolences to his family. He loved South Africa. He celebrated really South Africa through his music, his jazz music. Yeah.
Yeah, and also I think it was so crazy because the moment I saw that, I know you shared it with me yesterday, and one of the things I was thinking about I think it was a couple of weeks ago, but he was performing. What jazz show was this? It's a popular jazz event, and he was there still performing. And my biggest concern was, like, at his age to still be playing, right? And as old as he was, I also felt like, hey guys, he needs to be resting. But I guess if you love Lento Yenza, no one can really stop you.
8 decades in the game. Is it 8 decades? Yes, he's got 8 decades in the game. So that should tell you, he started young and he enjoyed it till the very end.
That's unfortunate.
What's on your radar, Fred?
On my radar, so they are actually, speaking about music, there are 2 concerts that are coming up. So Kehlani or Kehlani,
folded,
as we say. She's coming to the country. So she and Neo are actually coming, but Neo's coming on the 17th of October as well as the 18th of October, both in Cape Town and in Johannesburg. And then we've also got Kehlani, who is coming in December with Destin Conrad, which for me was a bit strange because I thought she would actually bring K1, because her and K1 seem to be the hot, kind of duo at the moment. And she'll be coming to Joburg on the 15th of December and then Cape Town on the 17th of December. But it's so strange because I feel like they don't get these shows, hey? Like, I actually feel for them.
Some of them have to drive up to Joburg to Cape Town.
But yeah, both of them are coming. And then also, still tying it back to music, so our very own superstar, Tyler, is actually going to be voicing the inflatable flamingo in Toy Story 5.
Okay.
And that film is actually coming out on the 19th of June, which is basically this week. But yeah, girl is flying the South African flag high. We saw her at the World Cup, and those vocals
the mic.
on. Yes, in people
We
who hate
heard
on Tyler,
her.
I really don't understand why you guys hate on that. Like, Tyler really embodies what a superstar truly is. Uyayenza into yakhe. So, yeah, so those are currently the two things happening at the moment. And then I also have the fact that Rose and Oaks Media, which is actually run by Andile and two of her partners. So they've actually secured a very big deal, and that is basically to buy back Rapid Blue. So for people who don't know, Rapid Blue actually started off as a South African production company and then was bought out by BBC Worldwide. And so that's why BBC had produced quite a lot of shows. So like Strictly Come Dancing, you've also got Come Dine With Me as well.
Dinner
Dates
South
as well. Rapid Blue's also in charge, actually funny enough, of Londi London's show as well. So they also produced that show. So they've now brought back the company back to South Africa, which is actually great because it also means, focusing on localized content, which I think we need more of. So yeah, super excited to see what they'll be cooking up. And
for us.
yeah, for us as viewers. Yeah.
MT was arrested last week surrounding he was arrested last week for violating a protection order that his wife had against him.
Yeah.
So a protection order there was open in 2023 and he violated it. He went to her space and whatever. So he spent a night in jail and was released on 1,000 rand bail.
Sure.
Friend.
Why are you because I feel like it's been going on for a long time, guys. I'm sure the people who once heard Uti things were just going pansi.
Yes.
I'm sure they probably married by now, and these two are still fighting. Like, it's not ending. Why?
Hey guys, see again. Like, we know, Nicole, you don't like him. It's okay. MT, you don't like her. It's okay. You guys have kids. For the sake of the kids,
protect those kids. Yeah, once it's not the hill, guys. No Jonas,
the kids are not the hill.
Nah, guys.
He will not stand 10 toes down for those kids.
No. So
Another thing, Ujub has been arrested. He is said to be in court sometime this week.
Yeah.
He's been arrested for kidnapping, defeating the ends of justice, and releasing a doof towards an e-hailing driver because on Sunday his girlfriend came home with this e-hailing driver and Ujub thought that guy Ujola Nichirek.
Like
Ujub.
So Shaya is a Ujola 99, like 99 vele. Come on,
I am not the one.
Nah, like, but I don't understand this, right? And I don't know because I actually haven't looked it up. But surely, if you were once convicted of a crime, right, you served time, and yes, you've got that experience, right? How were you able to secure ispamu? Or like, does like your record just get like
no, your record gets expunged only after 10 years.
So now, how is he able?
He hasn't been out for 10 years. And he still needs to serve parole. He still needs to finish serving parole. And then after...
He's on parole?
Yes.
Yo, why did I think
it
feels like so long ago.
It feels so long ago because he's always in our faces. He begged us to forgive him.
So guys,
he went on a sympathy tour. Underground.
Guys, that is crazy. And remember what we were saying, like in the previous episode about Indaba Bamu, and just how, guys, I don't remember us being this exposed to gun violence, whether umuntu uyasebenzisa ispamu or not. But my thing is, we're almost becoming like the US, where you can easily find ispamu noma kukuphi.
Yeah.
Like, it's unacceptable though.
Sometimes police stations get hijacked, get robbed. So it's those guns. Anyway, Ujub is said to appear in court later this week, and that's where he'll be having his bail hearing at Germiston High Court.
That is crazy. I've never seen someone attend court so much like him. But anyway, that is...
No, that's not the last time.
Aibo.
Tamia and Andile Mpisane have sparked divorce rumors. Tamia has gone back to her maiden surname.
Yeah.
So... there's just rumors of Andile has been cheating and there's abuse and the shebangs of it. So Tamia's gone back to using her maiden surname. They don't post each other. And we are thinking,
I somewhat have a theory. I feel like your lifestyle is so fun. Aisafani because of what happened,
Yeah.
right? And I know things have been very quiet, but I also, I mean, see, Ushoni kids are posting on social, but it's not the same way
not
that
the
she used to
same.
post on social.
It's not the
And
same.
when you also look, Andile nabo, they're not on social as much anymore. Nosbahle herself as well. So ngazibusukuthi, is it just strategic? Ukuthi yazini, they don't want to flaunt, you know, their wealth.
Kind of realize
Yeah,
now that things have hit the fan, they're
we're
realizing.
becoming
And
the
Tamia
center of
comes from a
attention.
well-off family, so she don't need this.
Yeah,
She don't need the charades.
I know, no, I hear you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, interesting times. Just with that, so yeah, we'll obviously see Uti Kwenzakalani
Kwenzakalani
to
lapho.
Uchup, and then we'll also hopefully watch Toy Story 5. As a fan of Toy Story, yes, njengoba ngimdala.
I was like
But
that. To infinity
and
and
beyond.
beyond.
So I wanted us to actually get into the hot topic, right, of the week, which is all things Jonasi Gomorrah. Okay, I think the release of The Polygamist on Netflix has to be a generational release in terms of shows, because I think this is arguably one of a few shows that I could ever remember in my history of ever watching something on TV that got so many people talking and analyzing and giving different takes, and so on. And so I wanted to use this time to really get into the depths of, you know, the Polygamist, you know, as such, because I know the previous weeks we'll obviously just give our take and then see violence, but I think it's a very, it's such a layered show, mainly because of just the different issues, right, that are highlighted, that are spoken about, that people experience, that I think as audiences, not just South African audiences, really need to pay attention to Gakulu, because I think for so many years, we haven't really had a good show that teaches you about morality, yes, actions and consequences and so on, because now the last time I remembered watching that was probably like Your Soul Buddies or Soul City, as well as Lipamkati, right? That for me shocked me, okay, into understanding what HIV AIDS actually is.
It was enough.
It was enough
for you to even know. Hey,
yes. And I think over the years, and I don't know if you agree with me, but I feel like with a lot of the shows that we had been consuming, right, since the era of those shows, is that there hasn't really been a show that would shock us to our core, that makes us reflect on our behavior, right, in society, how we behave towards other people, also practicing safe you know, sex
and being responsible, for yourself and others.
Exactly. So I don't know if you agree with me on that.
That era, intersections.
Yes,
and home affairs.
Yes.
I think that was the end of educational content, of educational drum soapies. You know, so it was quite insightful, and to also see that be the consequence.
Yes.
I think a lot of the times the consequences die with a gun, and this time it was no, he didn't live by the gun, so he didn't have to die by the gun. He had to die the way his actions were allowing him to, which was beautiful.
No, it definitely was. Like it was the perfect ending to that kind of story, because even when you looked at the tragedy as well. But I think even just the whole concept of having, you know, sexual intercourse in shows. I know South African audiences tinas borega masinyani, because I guess the assumption is that people are okay with seeing sexual scenes. But there's a difference between showing a sexual scene, right, and just doing too much like how the wife did it, because I just feel like it was just too extreme. But even when there was no need for like it was a lot. Like no, like there were no consequences and so on. Like people were just road dogging. Like we were just road dogging, like it's nothing. And now you have the story where it shows you those guys, it gets to a point. It really gets to a point. So I wanted to start off basically just unpacking the Polygamist, right? Not just as a show, but also the book itself. Because what some people may not know is that The Polygamist actually came from a novel that was written back in, I think it was 2012. by
Hi,
Usunyati, who is a Zimbabwean-born author. She's also an investment banker.
Okay.
And this was literally her first self-published, book,
Novel.
which is actually amazing because I also recall having friends who bought the book back in the day as well, who really, really loved it. And so to see that piece of work also be translated into a series was super, super amazing. So we have to give credit to Usunyati for that content. And then do you want to start us off with just some of the characters that we're exposed to?
Friend. Yeah. So first there's Jonas.
Yeah.
The patriarch of the family.
Yeah.
The father figure.
Yeah.
Mombona utiyevo baba.
Yeah.
There's Jonas. Jonas, Jonas. He's not a complicated character. He's quite easy.
Yeah.
But uyadelela.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's quite easy. He's not fussy. He's not. But uyadelela.
Yeah.
Then there's yeah.
Yeah.
Usile, he wants to control. He believes that money is everything. Money is the power, and you get to see what money affords him that power. And then there's his wife, Joyce. What do you think about Joyce?
Joyce to me is a trophy wife. Yeah. She starts off as a trophy wife because she's very gullible. I think she believes this world that, obviously that Jonas has provided or given her. And she is very much like, I want to say she feels invincible because she doesn't think beyond her marriage because her marriage is everything. Umshado wakhe is thunzi sakhe. And so whatever threatens that, she'll protect it, which is what most trophy, wives or stay-at-home moms are generally like, in my opinion. So that's how I took it initially when I was first introduced to Joyce.
And then there's Matipe. Matipe is a side piece, a cute little side piece.
Yeah.
Love Matipe.
But
naye ustot abamtsheli. So Matipe started dating Jonas. Not Jonas, Makesh, Jonas's brother. Yeah. And she saw that, small leagues here, small boys. I want the bigger boys. And so she flirted her way into a relationship with Jonas. And then she becomes the side piece to Joyce and Jonas's relationship.
But even before that, she was fighting for that head of legal. Yes. I think it was legal and research, which she eventually got because like you could see Uguti as in she wanted that position because I'm assuming she wanted the perks that came with it, and the only way she could get it is by sleeping with Jonasi. So that's how she got there. But I also wanted to, and at a later point when we unpack those dynamics between Umatipa and Ujonasi, there's something that really bothered me, I think, when I was watching the show, and why I'll forever be mad at Umatipa.
Not her wigs.
Okay, maybe yes, the wigs as well. The wigs were also
and
very
her wigs in specific, like everybody's wigs, they were okay. You can work with everybody's wigs. Hey, Matipa's wigs.
But I do want to circle back to her later, just with regards to the fact that I feel like Begang has Tembi, like Ujonasi had broken her down to a point where I feel like she became too dependent on him and forgot where she had started before. But anyway, Sizafika Guyole.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Uesi.
Yeah.
In the beginning we think Uesi is married to Makesh.
Yeah.
Makesh is Jonas's brother. Shame. He's a good guy. He's a good guy, a bit of an enabler, but he's a good guy. His heart's in the right place. It's just that he's cleaning up after Jonas, but his heart's in the right place. I think Makesh is a good guy. Okay, Uesi. Yeah. Uesi is Jonas's first love.
Yeah.
And then Jonas went to university, met Joyce and married Joyce, and Essie stayed behind, and yet should still be Chekana no Jonas. There's a part where Jonas says, "I did promise you a big house and a BMW."
Yeah.
And that was so sweet. He came back to give.
Guys,
honestly. He came back.
Yeah, he came back because he also, like, to your point at the start, right? You did say, Uguti, this was a man who imali yakhe beyimsebenzela, and he understood that. He understood the system. He played the game very well. And that's the part that I think all of these women weren't able to see, because they were so in love with him that they couldn't see Uguti was using that money to control them through the things that he would buy for them. But quickly forgetting Uguti, one mistake, and that's essentially who Jonas was.
And
Yeah.
So Essie was in a relationship with Jonas, and then who's this? Jonas and Essie had a child, Sarah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Essie also had a child, Freedom. But I'm suspecting Freedom with Jonas.
No. Umtana Galentuzana, who's that guy? The thug. He was a thug at the start of the show before Jonas went to university.
Okay.
Yeah. But and I guess this is where the difference is, because I also want to believe that Uesi could have been a better mother, yes, to Freedom, right?
Yes.
But because she knew maybe ukuthi vele umntwana akusoka Jonas, otherwise she would have pushed for him to look after the
also have a
child.
relationship, yeah.
But yeah, that guy, we never saw him after that whole scene. But yeah,
of him.
Like, I wanted to also just allude to the fact that Esi, I think for me, Esi and Magesh were definitely the start of Jonas's terrible ways, or his villain era.
Yes.
Right? Because there was so much enabling, and I think as people, we undermine what enabling actually means, right?
And what it looks like.
Yeah. And enabling doesn't mean ukuthi, okay, uzoshaya umfazi in front of so many people, and then you're paying everyone to just keep quiet about it. No, it starts in the smallest of ways. It starts off the moment when uzojolela the girlfriends that you're dating in high school, and then you're going to lie to another girl, and then kanti nawe self uthandana naye lo muntu lo, as if he's going to stop his behavior. And so those behaviors start building up, and this person is going to see ukuthi I mina phevele ukhona, is going to protect me. Umagesh ukhona, Magesh is going to protect me, because as much as we are siblings, I'm the one that got the opportunity to go and study and make a name for myself. So whatever
and
I
it becomes
do,
a trade-off.
Exactly.
Enabling is a trade-off.
Exactly.
I give you this. You
Precisely.
Give me this. Yeah.
So that's what it was. And I know people will disagree and say there was no way they could have stopped him, but I also feel like he wouldn't have done Essie dirty like that, as well as Joyce.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't have even gone to that point, because had Essie not also given Jonas Liamali registration, we don't know where Jonas would be, but it would definitely not be ruining lives.
But that's how Jonas feels indebted. He feels forever indebted to Essie. That's why he can't just leave her.
Yeah.
She has to come along, even if it means marrying his brother.
Yeah.
He has to bring her along, because she contributed to the bigger dream.
Yeah.
And the dream was always Jonas's and Essie's dream. And unfortunately, Jonas is the one who negated on his word.
True.
And so he owes her. He owes her. And now the whole child thing, now we have a child. It's just that now I'm owing wabo, man. Why mele abe sexually transmitted? Like, why?
That was his thing. That was his theme. That's the hat that he wore. And that's why I get mad at the fact that the moment he came back and acted like nothing went wrong, washatu Essie, washata Joyce, and he could just now buy Essie a car and a house. And I'm like, there's only so much certain assets can basically do to erase the fact that no, but at the same time, but I also think she was just being very selfish, because she just thought about herself and didn't think about her child. Because while yes, you can be given these things, but it's also just like the effects that your kids end up having as a result of now keeping this whole relationship a secret, keeping or lying to people ukuthi umntana ubaba kaSarah umageshi, and then now Sarah wants to have umsebenzi. Unfortunately she can't, because they can't exactly expose uJonas nokuthi ubaba kaSarah. Like, so do you see ukuthi it then becomes another cycle of broken people, because the adults themselves are also broken people.
And the manipulation.
Like it's crazy. And that's why ngisho ngithi, had it stopped and someone advised Uesi from the start ukuthi awuyenzi lento, things could have turned out differently.
Can we talk about how Matipa thought she's an exception to the rule?
Yeah, she was a pygmy, bruh.
Oh, Matipa, for a side chick, my sister.
Yeah.
Suka.
Yeah. No, she just,
Ay,
oh,
suka
yazi, she
bozitshela.
disappointed me,
Yo.
Shem. I really thought she was going to go out ngestima, ne?
Yeah.
But bekucaca nje ukuthi naye bekuyigwala.
Naye bekuyigwala.
Because there's no way you came into that marriage, Yaga Joyce, no Jonasi, and you were hell-bent on terrorizing every single person, including the kids.
Including the kids.
Every
And she thought
single
Joyce was the
person.
problem.
Yes.
Because begabani oyakhe sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Kumnandi. Kumnandi. Akuthengele indlu, athi imoto, athi ini. Until now uyadeta manje, uyadeta. And now who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you in this equation?
Oi, uJonas asibu uMatipa makathi no, I just had my C-section 8 days only mazitich. Athi umlomo yasebenza. Guys,
Cabang.
indoda enje.
Cabanga. Jonah, yo, guys.
Athi umlomo yasebenza. Okay, like umama mkhona.
But also my thing is, right, between and this is where I couldn't understand why Uchanasi couldn't understand it. She had just given birth. He has a wife. Why bekangayanga kuye njengoba azocela uLemzana? I was like, uMatipa naye, biggest mistake uMatipa is her having kids.
Yes.
I said that was her biggest mistake. Ngiyayibona le futhi infidelity, but that because there's no
she could
way
have stayed a side chick and
really
not
could've.
decided to get married. She could have kept her life like that.
Yeah.
And instead she was like, no, ngizomsusa uJoyce.
Because she wanted to be Joyce.
Because she wanted to be Joyce. Only
Yeah.
to find ukuthi uJoyce akayindawo.
Yeah.
Ugcwele
And why
uJoyce.
pushing the divorce? Hey, like that already should have been a sign. The fact that Joyce didn't want to sign the papers, and Ujonasi also wasn't bothered about chasing after Joyce, and so on, should have been a sign for you to leave.
And also the love bombing that uJonas was doing. When Joyce accepted uMatipa as umfazi,
Yeah.
ne? I stopped seeing uJonas noMatipa together. Instead, uJonas bekala kwakhe playing Happy Family. Nama Sundays siya praya.
Exactly.
Ngihleli nomndeni wami. But why alobolelo lo sisi lo?
And there was no routine because that's what Joyce managed to do very well, right? Like, I think that was the drive that Joyce had.
Yeah.
And how she could keep saying is that she had her kids and she had raised, her kids were practically older now, except for Ungazi. And the fact that she had her mom around, which was an advantage, but she also had other things that she was doing outside of this marriage, even though, yes, she centered her life, around this marriage. But with uMatipa, however, I feel like she came in from a perspective of she was there ukubhidliza umuzi. So I mean the story didn't even end there, and to show you ukuthi I bekazidlela noma yini, I think in comes uLindani. Now Lindani was I also didn't expect that to happen, to be honest. But it was also a good conversation to have because so many young girls, especially now, I think in the age of social media, young women find themselves, embroiled in, certain company where you're friends with someone and that particular person, ubabake, seems to have money, or you're exposed to that life where people who have that access to that wealth, right? Because you want the latest phone, you want to dress in designer, and that unfortunately was Lindani for the most part. But what I loved, I think at the start, before we're exposed to that dynamic and relationship, was that Lindani was always very protective over Mpume, right? Like she would fight for Mpume.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I picked up.
Yeah.
I picked up ukuthi uLindani ufuna impilo kaMpume. And then wanting that she will protect Mpume because her being in Mpume's life affords her.
It was that access.
Yeah. It was that access.
Yeah. But at the same time, I also felt like that was a turnaround in terms of Ujonase also getting his karma, because I feel like the moment things went left with Ulindani, things just 10:04. Now Ujonase is now infected. Ngapha sekayazinyela. Jonase nyele. Yo, guys.
2000 ubaba ongaka
Guys.
azokukhiphela inhlambi engaka.
Yo, and then when you realize Uguti how Ujonasi found himself in that position because he has no morality when it comes to sex. Yo, I sana shame. Jonasi deserved it. He deserved it. Like so much happened, I think, on the show that we could literally go like all day, forever and ever.
What do you think about Menzi?
Right. But you know what I loved, and that was very smart of the show, is how there was almost like an irony, right? In the moment where Joyce was speaking about how they tricked Ujonasi to change the will, Uguze Afage, I think it was Umenzi in his will. And when that happened, she was like, yeah, obviously none of our, my kids or our kids are going to be like this man. And then you also see him wearing ipanchi lakhe. And then only for him to go and screw Ulindani. No, your Pepe office. Your Pepe at the funeral.
Okay,
guys,
no, your Pepe at the funeral, I get it. When you've got no respect for that person.
At the funeral?
Oh,
with someone who had a child with your
guys, my friend.
Yeah, no, but there were quite like some interesting takes on social media, right? Where people also spoke or highlighted things like the wardrobe and the choice for the characters to wear certain colors, which I found to be quite, interesting because, hey, lonali deep depth. But I just thought, let's pull up like a couple of takes or, POVs that people pointed out on the show and actually read them out, and you tell us whether you agree with some of these. So I'll start.
How many you got, friend?
I am just going to do two because I feel like we spent
too much time.
A bit of time, okay, on this show.
I love the makeup on Jonas.
Yeah. Makeup Ella was giving is Z3. Yeah, when was Z3 back in the day and what they made it out to look like. That was Z3 makeup. Shout out to the makeup artist who did that. So the first one that I have is, so this was basically two tweets, but someone was saying, I can respect Umatipa for leaving immediately the first time he hit her. Then someone responded, she's such a selfish prick to me. Why does she think she deserves a do-over and Joyce doesn't?
Yes.
Take your kids with you, Mfazi. You fought high and low to make them. And I have to agree with that response.
She even fought her mother. She was willing. She was like, this is my man, and this is the hill I'm going to die on.
And you know what I was happy about? Uguti, the twins were like, who is this woman? The moment she came back. They were like, Uban,
who you?
Yeah, you don't deserve
Joyce
that.
is not a bad mother.
No, she's not
a bad mother.
She really isn't.
Because she could have punished the twins for because they're a result of whatever was happening with their dad, but she didn't.
No, exactly.
And I appreciated Nomenzi when he started going to Matipa's place to see the kids,
to know them.
Get to know the kids. Because at the end of the day, they are kids. They are innocent.
Yeah.
Those are people who I think are innocent in this whole shebangs. Everybody else.
And speaking about Ubenzi, so another take said, why do I feel like Menzi would have started self-destructing much earlier if Freedom hadn't been around? Freedom was nonchalant about life in a way that sometimes helped Menzi realize that not everything happening to him was his fault. So like the scene where Menzi got scolded by his dad about finding a job, he went to Freedom to complain. And instead of feeding the negativity, Freedom simply told him that girls like independent men. Just like that, Menzi found the silver lining in the situation. I have to agree with that. Like, Freedom was definitely the comical relief in the story, even though he was also a broken person by virtue of the situation that Ujonasi had put them in. But he really was like the forgotten hero in the story.
My
so
favorite part is when he's like, Destiny's Child.
Yeah, shout out to Buya Biela. You fine.
You fine boy. I also like this for him. I like it.
Same. It was definitely
I'm a Rose Wake. He's always serious and strict and angry and So this, he was needed.
Yeah.
He was needed, and even for Umenzi, he was needed. I think on my take, it was, did Joyce know that Jonas wouldn't agree to take the pills when he found out about his HIV status? That part confuses me. what if you send someone to you send someone to give him HIV and he decides to accept his status and drink the pills? But I think she knew.
She knew the type of man
she knows her man.
Yes.
She knows her man.
And indoda akanakuthi yena akanayo iqhox wayothatha imbiza. Like she knew her man, bruh. She knew her man.
She knew her man. My other take is I have a hunch that Joyce might be a bit classist, and that's why she forgave Matiba and accepted her twins, but couldn't open her heart up to her heart to do the same for Essie and Sarah.
I don't agree. I kind of understand why they pointed it out that way, but I also don't agree because technically speaking, Essie actually was stripped of those rights the moment she agreed that because literally you can't be going shopping no Jonasi and now allow Jonasi to just make a fool out of you and lie to Mfazwake and then says to you, yeah, no, I'll be honest, I'll tell Joyce I'm getting married to you, and he never did. Yeah. But anyway, that is pretty much it regarding The Polygamist. I know we've had a very fruitful conversation. And if you guys haven't had a chance to watch it, please do, because it's a very insightful series on Netflix. It's called The Polygamist, which is based on Sunyati's novel, The Polygamist. So do check it out. And yeah, definitely loved it. I would watch it again, even with all of the trauma. So yeah.
Anyway, friend, Zikipani, how was Red Bull? How was Sun?
Red Bull Symphonic was actually very nice, but I feel like the people that attended the first day, it was a bit tricky because we told people, guys, why are you standing? Because already because we're outside, the seats weren't elevated, so people at the back, people at the back couldn't even see the moment someone decides to stand. So I think, but the production, performances was amazing. Babes, what do?
Babes came.
Oh my beshingo, surprised that. Oh no, that honestly was my highlight. Seeing Babes Utumo on stage was everything. Okay, but honestly, they did a phenomenal job. It's the same guys that also did the Marble Circus, which was actually great. Okay, like they're very good with like outdoor events. But all in all, it was honestly 10 out of 10, except for those people that were standing and the small chairs is umshato because some of us are big guys. Like there's no way those seats were comfortable. But that's my only critique. Those ones were tiny, bruh.
And the cold?
It wasn't as cold. Okay. It honestly wasn't, but I know people were saying on Sunday it was a bit chilly, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it was great. So shout out Red Bull, for the symphonic, and shout out to Andile and Ushala Tumzin. Yeah.
Is he short?
Oh yeah, he's a short king. Yeah.
Also, we've got from the 25th until the 27th, there's Pasha Uhuru Festival. Yeah. And that is when Nombu and I met.
Hey, it's been a minute when tickets were free.
Tickets were free.
But now the tickets are like 180.
Yeah. And we watched all the guys on stage.
When I was Ola 7, I was Squad Cab for free back in the day. Okay.
Oh. It was nice.
Yeah, so that's nice seeing it is Youth Month. So do check it out if you guys are looking for something to attend with your friends. This June as well.
Otherwise, Tina, sizokotola, sinesane nama flu. Busy.
I am Pumlile mina. My next outing is the Durban July, so I'm going to be indoors.
Also, go ahead.
Thanks. Nizobona, I'm getting it done, okay? But yeah, we'll talk about it closer to the time. We'll talk about it. But yeah, I think it's been great. It's been a very insightful and amazing episode discussing all things with Jonas and of course other things that are trending on social media and in the entertainment and pop culture space. So yeah, that's it from me. But before Sizo Valelisa, please make sure that you guys subscribe to the LMG Creative Network, as well as use the hashtag Ashlebi in the comments and let us know which of the things we talked about really interested you most. And yeah, we'll engage with you on social, and you can follow me at the letter U _Nombulelo and
Khanyisa NM.
And yeah, and that's it from us with episode 3. Catch us next time. Same time, same place. Okay. But yeah, siyabonga for tuning in this far, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.